Since the earliest days of our civilization, wherever men lived together, rules of conduct were essential to an orderly community. The men chosen to enforce these rules, our first lawmen, wrote many heroic pages of our nation's history. These were dedicated men, devoted to public service, working long hours at their chosen profession, building the heritage of the lawman of today. With the passing years, there came the problems of a growing population, and society's rules became more complex. The guardians of public safety found that with increased demands for their services, it was necessary to divide the many responsibilities of their office. As communities grew, so were born the more specialized law enforcement agencies which make up the police service of our time. Each has the same basic function. Each works in its own way toward a common goal as part of the law enforcement team. Today, California's well-trained lawman shares a proud heritage in a rewarding career of service to his fellow man. Whether patrolling the busy streets of a big city, the back roads of a rural community, or on the state's modern highway system, he works for the common good. In a variety of police tasks, he is able to utilize his particular talents through which he may make the greatest contribution to the work of law enforcement. Thus, his work provides for the satisfaction of his immediate capabilities and at the same time challenges him to develop and acquire new skills and knowledge in police science. The officer may be interviewing a complainant, talking to a prisoner, testing his skill in a training car, working on a ballistics comparison, guiding traffic through a forest fire, searching for microscopic clues, working with auto clubs in the cause of traffic safety, operating the communication center, or dusting for latent fingerprints. His work is varied and interesting, stimulating his imagination. A decision to choose a career in law enforcement may lead to a position in the city police, the highway patrol, or a sheriff's department, California's three major branches of police service. Service with each of these agencies makes constant demands upon the officer's background of information obtained through pre-service schooling as well as through on-the-job training. Of course, he must already have demonstrated the personality traits necessary to qualify him for a law enforcement career. The high school student of today already has a pretty fair idea of the work of the law enforcement agency which protects his immediate community. Perhaps there is a peace officer in his family, or maybe he's become acquainted with the policeman on the beat. Probably the information acquired through friends or relatives in police service has been restricted, however, to a particular police agency. Actually, as the interested student will learn, the field of law enforcement encompasses many different jobs in various branches of police service. Remember, peace officers serve the public and must rely upon the support of the people. They are eager that the public should know something about the work they are doing. Whether you live in an unincorporated area or in a large city, there is a law enforcement agency nearby where you may see for yourself something of what goes on behind the scenes. class tours are easily arranged with your local department. Regardless of its size, each department has the same basic function, handling the same precious commodity, people. They may find their customers on the streets of a big city, on our state's vast system of highways, or in a rural community. In each case, the customer, though not always right, must be properly handled by skilled men and women who are trained well for the job they are doing. The better the training, the better the job is done, from the first contact to the final disposition of the case. The work is satisfying, often exciting and challenging, always a public service. Because the field of law enforcement is so complex, requiring a variety of skills and a broad background of education for those wishing to make a career of police work, leaders in the field of education have developed programs of instruction which begin in high school and continue through the college years. High school counselors are able to direct students to courses which will prepare them for a program of study to be followed in the junior college, college, or university of their choice. In California, there are several colleges and universities, as well as a large number of junior colleges, which offer law enforcement programs with good facilities and qualified instructors. In the college classroom, experienced instructors open the doors to a new and exciting world of information on such subjects as police science, criminology and criminalistics, legal medicine, police administration, and criminal psychology. Combined with a background of general education, this course of study lays the foundation for a successful career in law enforcement. Of course, there still remains the important problem of adaptation to the particular techniques, methods, and practices of the agency in which the student finds employment. Most of this is learned on the job rather than in the classroom. The broad background and mental discipline gained during the period of formal education should accelerate the rate of learning and advancement in the field of law enforcement. To acquire the benefits of junior college or university training in police subjects after employment in the field often requires considerable personal sacrifice. Actually, the peace officer's training never ends. Like a physician or member of a similar profession, he must keep abreast of developments in his field of work. New methods and techniques are added to a constantly expanding scope of knowledge. On the job, he attends regular training sessions to improve his mental and physical prowess. with a gun, he is impressed with the seriousness of his responsibility while he receives instruction in the use of firearms. Everything considered, the peace officer is one of the most thoroughly trained people in the world today. And this is as it should be. The job requires careful training. This physical and mental discipline pays dividends in added protection while performing some of the more hazardous duties of his chosen profession. Among the tools of his trade, the peace officer of today has available to him the marvelous mechanical aids which ferret out needed information from police records. The polygraph, or so-called lie detector, is a valuable aid in the interrogation of suspected offenders. Police cameras capture a permanent record of the accident or crime scene. Fingerprints, fibers, and other evidence left by the criminal are analyzed and classified with modern laboratory equipment. With these and many other aids to investigation, California's law enforcement officers are among the best equipped in the world. The real purpose of this considerable investment in training and equipment is to prepare the officer for handling the people whom his work concerns and the various, often involved situations into which he is injected. Perhaps he is participating in or directing the operations of a group of officers searching for a wanted or missing person. In a much different setting, he may be listening to the tragic story of a narcotics addict. A policewoman draws upon her experience and training while talking to a distraught mother about her errant child. At the nerve center of his office, a supervisor directs the assignment of police cars and ambulance crews to the scene of a serious motor vehicle accident. In a routine visit to a department store, an officer discovers a professional shoplifter at work. He must know the right moment to apprehend the thief. An error in judgment could make prosecution impossible. Listening intently to an old man's rambling story, the officer may recognize some indications of a serious mental disturbance. He knows the importance of the proper handling of the mentally ill. As a member of the law enforcement team, he may be working with officers of other agencies in the pursuit of escaped prisoners. News of their apprehension is radioed to the local sheriff's department. By telephone, a police agency many miles away is notified of the arrest of the criminals who had escaped from their jurisdiction. Lawmen work together for the common good. In these and hundreds of other situations we have seen publicized in newspapers, on television, and on the movie screen, peace officers make use of their skills and knowledge, their background of education and training, to provide a solution in a difficult circumstance. There are the lesser-known functions of police service, which utilize types of equipment and skills not usually associated with law enforcement. As an agency of public safety, police must be ready to provide the service required to do the job. Lost or injured persons in rugged areas, not easily reached, may be located by the Air Patrol. Once their location is identified, mountain rescue units bring needed assistance. The helicopter and for tracking offenders. Underwater rescue training has added another skill to the police field. Skills developed on the job may lead to exciting off-duty recreation and good fellowship as member of one of a variety of department teams. We have considered the service aspect of a career in law enforcement, the interesting duty and the community prestige which results from a proper performance of that duty. Let's look now to some of the material benefits which the work provides. An adequate salary is an important consideration in choosing one's life's work. Peace officer salaries are not interrupted by seasonal layoffs or work shortages. Sick leave benefits are provided to take care of time lost due to illness. Annual vacations with pay offer opportunity for relaxation in a change of scene. Through competitive examination, officers may advance to positions of greater responsibility within the organization and greater income. Retirement provisions make it possible to retire while you're still able to enjoy it. Perhaps you may qualify for a career in one of California's major branches of law enforcement. Interested pre-college students of good character and reputation should start to prepare now with suggested courses of study. Should his program of education be interrupted by military service, the student may gain valuable experience in one of the military police organizations. Junior colleges, and universities offer instruction in police science, criminology, and related subjects, which will adequately prepare the student for employment in an honored profession with a tradition of dedicated service. Visit the nearest police department, sheriff's department, or highway patrol office for information and assistance. Your school counselor can help you plan today for the years ahead and a career in law enforcement.